What is going on, everybody? What is going on? The Catch fam. Hope you guys are doing phenomenal tonight. Hope everyone is having a great weekend and a great Saturday. You guys know what it is. We wake up tomorrow. Everything changes as the NFL 2024 season. I mean, it's already begun, but tomorrow marks Sunday's first slate, and we will get through the entire week one. By Monday night, we're going to have some great matchups tomorrow. We've got everything in place for a beautiful fantasy football season, although it's already kind of starting a little bit rocky here. But nonetheless, tomorrow, I mean, I know we had Thursday night's kickoff and a great matchup for the most part until the last 6 seconds between the Eagles and Packers last night. But tomorrow feels like Christmas morning. We get our first full Sunday slate of NFL games for the year. Then a great matchup Monday night between the Jets and the Niners. So, you guys know what we're going to do tonight. Fantasy Q&A, anything that you guys need for week one, regardless of format, single quarterback, half PPR, full PPR, standard, super flex, double quarterback, whatever it may be. Anything you guys need, starts, sits, waiver additions, last minute waiver additions, roster reviews, trade questions, anything for week one. Get in the live chat. Let's have some fun. Let's talk some fantasy football. If you guys don't have questions, you feel pretty confident going into tomorrow, let me know what your starting lineup looks like. If you're in multiple leagues, just pick one. Pick one. I'm going to go over some starting lineups. So, all right. Let me do one thing real quick here, and we'll go over the news for the day, which is a little bit better news than I think a lot of people thought we were going to get last night. But still bummer news nonetheless. All right, so in terms of Jordan Love, we went live right after Friday night's game last night, and there was pure panic across the fantasy community. But now we know that since the Packers have landed, Jordan Love underwent several tests. It's revealed he has an MCL sprain, no ACL damage. So this is much better news. This is not necessarily a season-ending injury, but it still could be. The problem here is depending on the severity of the MCL sprain. I mean, this could put Jordan Love out for 3 or 4 weeks. It could put him out for 8 weeks. And the issue is going to become if we're like pushing the 8-week time period, the Packers are going to be in a position. How many games have they won? Where do they stand in that division? Is Jordan Love going to rest for the rest of the season, or is he going to go and start? So the Packers really are going to need to muster as many wins together as possible in the next couple of weeks. And then, I mean, it's still a tough division. You got the Bears really coming into this year. You got the Lions, the favorites to win that division. And you got the Vikings, whatever. But, still great offensive head coach there. So, and still plenty of weapons on that offense. So, we'll kind of see, the Jordan Love news, good news. But we're just going to have to sit back and see. Now, in terms of guys like Jaden Reed, Christian Watson, Romeo Dobbs, Josh Jacobs. I think Jacobs, you're probably feeling okay. We expect the Packers to rely on the run game more now. But in terms of the wide receivers, especially with the night, I mean, Jaden Reed looked like he could be the wide receiver 1 on the season if Jordan Love is healthy this year. I mean, might be the most impressive player we saw out of the first 2 games, even with Xavier Worthy, Isaiah Likely, Saquon, A.J. Brown. I mean, Rasheed Rice, Zay Flowers, all kinds of good performances in the past couple of days. But it's really tough to answer how we should evaluate the Packers wide receivers right now, because I mean, right now you got Malik Willis starting for the Packers in the meantime, but I don't know if they're really going to truly roll with Malik Willis moving into week 2. So, there's not really any like quarterback rooms that I think they can go out and try and make a trade for a guy. Maybe you could argue like Aiden O'Connell or Russell Wilson, but I just don't know if Russell Wilson's like not even healthy. We talked about this last night, but Justin Fields is probably going to start for the Steelers tomorrow. And more reports indicating that today as compared to last night. So, but yeah, let's just sit back. Maybe Ryan Tannehill gets signed, has been a name that's floating around, most experienced veteran out there. It's a free agent who is like can probably win you some games in this offense. We went over all the free agent quarterbacks last night, and it's not pretty. Mike White's out there. In the chat last night, we decided Mike White's going to the Packers. So I don't know, but still good news. We never want to see any type of injury to a major player like this. And from my fantasy perspective, of course, it makes things so much more complicated, but it's so much more complicated when a quarterback gets hurt because that has such a large impact on the entire offense. If just Jaden Reed gets hurt, it still really sucks, but then there's at least positives to Dobbs and Watson, Jacobs, I guess. It's still awful, but if Jordan Love gets hurt, then it's like, whole offense dynamic changes here. So, all right. Other than that, what is happening with Jamar Chase? I've been seeing reports today that the Bengals expect him to play, but he also got added to the injury report with an illness and is questionable. If Jamar Chase is listed as active tomorrow, I'm still starting Jamar Chase, but I don't know about this Jamar Chase situation right now. What is happening in Cincy? Then in terms of another big name, first round name, we have Christian McCaffrey listed as questionable for Monday Night Football with a calf and Achilles injury. So I'll say this much: if you own Christian McCaffrey, don't panic here. Maybe CMC misses week 1. Maybe he misses week 2. Okay. You feel like you kind of got cheated because you drafted CMC at the 1.1 or the 1.2. So you feel like you got cheated. You made the wrong pick. But as long as McCaffrey is healthy for most of the season, maybe he needs to rest a week or 2. That's better than them rushing Christian McCaffrey out there and he ends up getting hurt or plays hurt and makes it worse. And then he's out for 6 or 8 games compared to he just misses a game or 2 to get fully healthy and ready to go. Because when Christian McCaffrey is in your starting lineup, he's still going to play at such a high ceiling that you're going to soon forget about the fact that he missed weeks 1 and 2 even. So I'm not going to panic about Christian McCaffrey, but am I worried he might not play week 1? Sure. It's Saturday. He's listed as questionable. He's going to be questionable leading up till Monday night. And the big problem here is if you don't own Jordan Mason or Breece Hall, you'd have to I don't know, you have to be in a keeper league, I think, to have C-Mac and Breece Hall on the same team. But yeah, if you don't own Jordan Mason, you basically you're in this really tough position because you have to start Christian McCaffrey if he starts, even if he only gets 70% of the touches and they're going up against the Jets at home. You still can't bench a guy like C-Mac. So the fact that this game is Monday night is going to put a lot of fantasy managers in a bit of a conundrum. So this has been a rough start to week 1. We're only 2 games in. We're usually only 1 game in by this point, but between Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, McCaffrey, Jordan Love, people who drafted a lot of Derrick Henry or Mark Andrews. Henry's going to be fine. Andrews will be fine. But, it's definitely been everything that we expect out of the very start of the fantasy season. This is why we play the game, ladies and gentlemen. This is what makes it fun because we are always moving. You always have to pivot. This is fantasy football. All right. Let's talk some fantasy football while we're at it. Chase, what's going on, man? Hello. Lost Jordan Love. Would you pick up Daniel Jones or Derek Carr? I'd probably pick up Carr. I think Carr will be fine. There's like no ceiling involved with Derek Carr, but he's fine. Like in this situation. I mean, I don't know. Maybe go with the wild card. Maybe just pick up Daniel Jones. There are a lot of fantasy managers that picked up Justin Fields right away. Like if they were Jordan Love owners, the Justin Fields reports came out like the perfect time to snagged up Justin Fields in like single quarterback leagues. So I think in this situation, he's probably not available, Chase. So when we look back to last year, I can find Derek Carr. Wow, they have Taysom Hill listed in front of Derek Carr on sleep. Pete. What's up, bro? We're just talking some Derek Carr, I mean, no biggie here.
Oh,
perfect.
Why?
Chase lost Jordan Love. Would you pick up Danny Dimes or Derek Carr? I'm going Derek Carr.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I'm sorry, Chase. I apologize. I'm happy, but I apologize for your situation.
So, I mean, at least Carr in the fantasy playoffs last year was good. I'm just trying to look. So Carr got you. Let's lower the totem pole here. 17 or more fantasy points. 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 times last year. Daniel Jones, if I can find him, because I'm being lazy and not. Wow, okay, I'm just gonna type in his name. That would make it a lot easier. I was trying to be lazy. Danny Dimes, when he was healthy, gave you over 17 fantasy points once. That week 2 performance against Arizona, which was like spectacular. That game was honestly incredible. He had 31 fantasy points, but the next week he had 4.9, then 10.7, then 7.1. The game he got hurt against Miami. And for some reason, they threw him back out there in week 9. He got decimated by the Raiders. Out for the year.
Double hurt.
Such a bad offensive line. Yeah, I mean, I just go Carr here. Maybe if Danny Dimes lights up the Vikings.
No shot, baby. Yeah. Vikings Z's already talking shit, which is crazy. Crazy talk from them. They're like, we're going to dominate Danny Dimes.
Yeah, I think I just go Derek Carr here. Sorry, Danny.
Yeah.
Albert, hello. Should I start Zeke or Dowdle? I have to start one at RB2, asked Mason. I mean, I think everyone is going to say to start Dowdle. I mean, end of this off season, all the coach speak was Dowdle. They want to use him. They want to get him involved. But I just have a weird feeling that in week 1, it's going to be Zeke who like vultures a touchdown and like does just enough to where it's like a 10-point fantasy performance, and the way they want to use Dowdle just doesn't equate against the Browns defense. So I hate this situation week 1. I think as the season goes on, it is Dowdle. But this week 1 matchup is just tough here on the road against Cleveland. So
yeah, I don't want to touch either of these teams really. Week 1, that's like it's kind of like Deshaun Watson could be horrendous. The Cowboys could be a train wreck. It's kind of a state. Just like I don't really want to. CD is probably the only person I feel comfortable like hammering home this week.
Yeah, like I like Jake Ferguson still. Again, Joku's fine. I like Jerome Ford, but overall, I don't disagree. Like, there's a stain on this game for me. Like, I think the Cowboys could come out and play really well still. I think that the Browns can be perfectly fine in this game. But it's just hard to ignore that both these defenses were really good last year, and both these offenses are in a weird place right now. We got 3 Pete's.
We're back. Don't worry where I am. We're back. Internet.
So yeah, but if you have to make a decision, I I guess I go Dowdle still. Chat, if you're forced to start a Cowboys running back, who would you start? Zeke or Dowdle? We need to know. In my Superflex, Love is out for time. Oh, Love is out. Time for Bryce Young to step up. Yeah. In one of my Superflex leagues, I drafted Lamar, Jordan Love, and fortunately, Tua. And that was the first year this league's ever been a Superflex league. And I was telling everyone, like, you got to draft 3 quarterbacks. Like, you just have to. People are like, it's only 10 people, 10 teams. So I'm like, injuries, bye weeks. You got to do it. And now my team's a perfect example, although I wish I didn't have to make that sacrifice. But Bryce Young, she'll get you through. If CMC doesn't play, would you start Jordan Mason? Only if you have to. Like, I don't feel it's still a Jets defense, which, I mean, that unit wasn't great against the run last year.
Playing. CMC's playing.
Yeah, I feel like part of this is Kyle Shanahan just being Kyle Shanahan. Trying to pull some coaching maneuvering out there. But if it is Mason, the problem here is, like, we just talked about at the beginning of the stream, is like the fact that this is a Monday night matchup is such a conundrum because it's going to put fantasy managers in such a bind if they own C-Mac. So I don't love Jordan Mason. I don't necessarily prefer him, but if you have to roll with him, like, you could, but I'm not like feeling lights out about Jordan Mason to the point where, I have to start him because he's the RB1 in this matchup. If it wasn't a top tier running back like Christian McCaffrey, I'd probably prefer to, not start. I don't know. I mean, the Niners still at home. I don't know. I'm just gonna say only play Jordan Mason if you have to. All right, Millie Mills, what's up? I got Reed, Cup, Evans, Amon-Ra. I just lost Love for a little. Who to stream? Goff, Stafford, Baker, Trevor. I mean, honestly, these are all great options. If you lost Jordan Love and you have these 4 quarterbacks to choose from,
Flip Baker and Trevor, and that's the order right there. Goff, Stafford, Trevor, Baker, in that order. Get any of this.
I agree. I think all these guys are going to be startable throughout the year in single quarterback formats. So, especially matchup based. Like, I think Baker's going to have a really good week 1. Will his ceiling be high every week? Probably not, but he's got the Commanders at home in week 1. So T-Law is going to have good weeks. I like T-Law a lot in week 1 as well against Miami. So, but yeah, Goff, Stafford, T-Law, Baker. I definitely agree with that order. But it is interesting because you got Cup, Evans, and Amon-Ra, but you don't need a stack. I mean, you're probably going to get a stack anyways, but you don't need to focus on that. A-Rich or Kyler in 4-point passing. I'll still go Kyler here. Yeah. I really like this matchup between the Bills and Cardinals for fantasy this week. I don't know why I feel hesitant about the Texans-Colts matchup. Like, I still think it's going to be a good matchup for fantasy, but I just feel like Bills-Cardinals, I have a little bit higher ranked overall. Yeah, Pete's been lagging this whole time, so he might be trying to fix that. We'll get Pete back if he can. But yeah, I think I go Kyler, but if you want to go A-Rich, it's fine. Both are great this weekend, I think. Chase, I already picked up Bryce Young, but I'm stashing another QB. Yeah, I go Carr. Yeah, you got to stash someone. Especially, like, I think Bryce Young's going to have a better season, but we can't trust him in fantasy yet. Would rather pick up Sam Darnold over Daniel Jones. Yeah, I'm not against if you are in the Jordan Love boat here, picking up Sam Darnold if you absolutely need to.
Sam over Who's got the better weapons? Justin Jefferson, Malik Neighbors, Jordan Addison. I don't know who that plays wide receiver 2 for the New York Giants.
I guess it's Randall Robinson on paper. Yeah, I think
no. Yes,
I know.
but yeah, exactly.
That's Jordan Addison's another name.
That's the answer. Weapons are just better.
They are.
Sleeping.
I think Jordan Addison too is going to have a nice week 1. He's one of my sneaky players this week.
Yeah, everyone is just like off the Jordan Addison train. I guess, I mean, I get it, but it's like the matchup is there. The matchup is there. If Sam Darnold can tie his cleats and throw the football to him, the matchup is there.
Matchup's there. Hasn't been on the injury report for like over a week. He's not suspended.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah, he's all we care about here is fantasy. It's like he should be in line to put up fantasy points. Need one at flex, Spears or Uzavis. I'm okay with either, but you kind of got to sit back here. I mean, either way, it looks like Higgins or Chase are not going to play. I want one of those two guys on the field, though, if I start Uzavis. I mean, I don't know if he can line up as a wide receiver 1. He's a slot wide receiver. I actually like him more as the season goes on when Higgins and Chase are healthy because that's going to allow him to play fully in the slot. But I think if Chase is out there, for example, he's a fine start. I want to like Spears, but I don't know if week 1 on the road is going to be the time to start Tajay Spears. So we'll find out.
I'm a big Chase Brown guy this week now because of that situation.
They will definitely be relying on the run game. So I like
or Chase even Brown. Just like pass catch it, like a couple of pass catch. He's their pass catching RB for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I went, like I said last night, I went from loving this Bengals Patriots matchup to kind of like, we'll see. Ayuk or B Tom?
Yeah.
What'd you say?
I was just saying, like, yeah, like I had them I had the Bengals as a lock, and now it's like, yikes.
Yeah, it's like there's opportunity here, but do we want to risk it? This one's interesting from Joshua because I think a lot of people are going to end up benching Brandon Ayuk, and I'm okay with it week 1. Kyle Shanahan came out and said he won't be surprised if Ayuk doesn't get like a full workload or something like that. And he's going to be facing Sauce Gardner in this game. So I said, like, good.
I benched Ayuk I benched him for Tank Dell. Like I played Tank Dell over him. I don't think it's a good week for Ayuk.
Yeah. I'm okay with benching him if you have another option you like that you feel more confident in. I like Brian Thomas Jr. this week. So I mean, if you want to start him, I think you can. I still don't know if I trust him over Ayuk in week 1. But this is a spot where Ayuk can definitely be benched. So if you want to do it, I will say I really like the matchup between the Jaguars and the Dolphins. Hat PPR, Kirk or Ramondre? I gotta go Kirk still. If you want to go Ramondre, fine. But I mean, it's not an awful matchup. Still expect the Bengals defense to play good, but they weren't great last year. So half PPR, I think you can definitely consider Ramondre. I just don't know at the end of the day, like exactly what we're going to get out of this Patriots offense. And that bothers me. I don't know what that output's going to be here. So once again, I like this matchup between the Jags and the Dolphins, and I still think there's touchdown upside in that matchup. So I think I still lean Kirk. I think he's just a solid start this week. He's a guy I talked about throughout the week. Full PPR, definitely. Half PPR, it's like, see an argument here for Ramondre over. We're going to make Pete tiny for the rest of the stream.
My internet is struggle bussing over here. I got too many games streaming over here, I guess. I don't know what is going on. I'm just, too much college football over here.
We'll survive. But yeah, I can see the argument here.
I'll just pop in and out.
Yeah, that's fine. But I'll go Kirk. Took here RB a bit too far. Running backs are JT Daddle, Zeke, Benson, Davis, and Bucky. Yeah, I mean, this is extreme. You're definitely relying on that Cowboys running back room, and JT needs to stay healthy for you. We'll see. TJ Watt or Hunter for IDP. I think Hunter's fine. I don't play IDP. I mean, this is the one thing I say every year. Like, I don't play in any IDP leagues. I feel like if I own TJ Watt, I would start him every week, but Hunter might have the better matchup here. So
I thought linebackers were the way to go in IDPs. Like, you just want to rack up tackles. And these guys don't get tackles. They get sacks.
Yeah.
I don't know. We are not an IDP expert over here.
If anyone in the chat plays IDP, who would you guys start here, Watt or Hunter? I just feel like if I owned Watt, I would just start him every week. But like I said, I don't play in any IDP leagues, unfortunately. 14-team full PPR. 2 of my RBs are on bye week 5. Should I pick up Justice Hill off the waiver wire? Have first priority. Yeah, I think Justice Hill is going to be somebody, really, regardless of your situation, that you want to chase. Way too much passing upside in that first matchup. I mean, he might have literally 0 points next week. I don't know, but he was on the field a lot. And obviously Henry's just going to be a guy that they're going to hand it off to. Henry needs more touches. Henry needs more creative touches. Can't just be running it straight up the gut. I mean, he can, but he needs other involvement. So I think we'll see more involvement from Henry as the season goes on, but I don't know if it's going to be the way that Hill was used. And Lamar showed a lot of trust in Hill in that first game. So, yeah, I'd probably go for Hill here. I mean, who else is out there? Isaiah Likely?
We don't know yet. Just wait. We got to wait and see what happens tomorrow.
Yeah.
There could be 2 guys out there, 2 or 3 guys that were like, oh, these are the guys.
Sure. Joshua got JT, White, McLaughlin. Rolling with JT and White tomorrow. Be my plays. Not sure if Ayuk will take on a full workload, so maybe I should put Brian Thomas Jr. in. Yeah, I mean, if you're worried about Ayuk, I think that's fine. But if you bench a player, even given the circumstances, you bench a player like Ayuk, you just can't be disappointed when he puts up 18, 20 fantasy points, You have to understand you're still taking a risk with a guy like that. But yeah, I mean, Kyle Shanahan not really in full support.
I mean, you could be disappointed if he does that against us. If he does against us, you could be a little disappointed.
Sure.
You sit him.
I mean, that's fair too. But it's kind of like if you trade a player like, Puka Nacua, it's like, well, Puka Nacua is top 5 wide receiver this year. You just have to accept that you traded him, Drafted Love. I Caleb Williams as a backup. Have no idea on Love's return. All on waivers are Will Levis or Rodgers. I would pick up Rodgers for now because I think Love depends on your league settings, but he's probably gonna be put on the PUP list.
IR.
Yeah. Okay.
You can put him on PUPs past the start. It'd be IR, but I heard it might only be 3 weeks. I heard he's definitely out for the Vikings game, but they're at LA the week after that. So week 5, they're at the Rams, and I heard that because they're thinking sooner rather than later. But we'll know other quarter. Caleb could get you 4 weeks of the season.
Yeah, I agree with that. Caleb Williams, if he's your backup, I think it's fine because I said at the beginning of the stream, we don't really know the severity of the MCL sprain. Might be 3 weeks, might be 8 weeks. I don't think anyone really knows. So I do agree, though, if you're just going to roll Caleb Williams, like it's fine. If you feel like you need an additional quarterback, for me, between Levis and Rodgers, it's Rodgers. I'm playing DK and Kirk over Jamar Chase. Will likely be even more limited or not play. Thoughts? Yeah, I mean, I think it's fine if you want to do that. I mean, anytime there's a situation like this, if you just don't feel fully confident and you have, I mean, you still have two really good players here in DK and Kirk, and you just want to roll with those two guys, I'm okay with that. I don't have any issue with that. But you just have to understand, like, once again, you bench a guy like Jamar Chase and he pops off. It is what it is. But I think if you don't like the situation, this is fine here. I still like DK and Kirk this week a lot. Monty, Dell, Ramondre, or J-Mo in the flex. I go Tank Dell here.
Yeah, me too. I think Tank Dell's a great start this week.
I really like Jameson Williams, but I like Tank Dell more. So. Which QB should I stream? Gino Fields.
Tank Dell, they're both kind of home run. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
they're both home run guys, and Dell's kind of the more he's the established home run guy.
For sure. I think this is one of those games where J-Mo is going to be in a great position. But yeah,
we're still a little nervous on J-Mo, right?
Yeah,
we're not 100% sure on him yet.
For sure. So, yeah, I go Tank Dell. Easy money. Which QB should I stream? Geno Fields, Baker, or Burrow? Okay, I mean, it should just be Burrow.
Yeah, you gotta play Joe Burrow. Just play Joe Burrow. He's a star. You drafted Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow's been drafted. None of these other three guys are getting drafted. Joe Burrow's consistently drafted in every league.
Yeah, it's got to be Burrow. But I mean, if you truly want to name the stream, it's Baker, in my opinion. But I think I just still start Burrow here. I don't want to overthink it.
Yeah, Burrow could be your starting quarterback. It depends who your quarterback is. Burrow's like an elite backup quarterback for you. Burrow could have an MVP season, guys.
Sure. Yeah, even if Higgins and Chase don't play, I think that I'm still probably just trusting Burrow. All right, let me get caught up here. Jerome Ford or Lad McConkey? I still go Jerome Ford. I think Jerome Ford is a really solid start this week. I like Lad McConkey. I think he's in a fine position, but I'm not really super confident in the Chargers offense week 1. Like, I'm not confident in them. I know that makes no sense, but I'm okay with kind of sitting back and seeing how this offense kind of runs and going from there. I'm not like you drafted Ladd, Josh Palmer, like late. I will say DJ Chark just got added to the IR today. So that's good.
That was interesting. Yeah.
It's good for Ladd, good for Palmer owners. I just want to sit back and kind of see what this offense looks like. I'm not saying it's gonna be bad, but it's a new offense. The Herbert foot injury seems like a fever dream, but he's coming off the foot injury. Jerome Ford's just in a smash spot here. He's going to get so much volume in this game. He could score 2 touchdowns in this game. So would have been Higgins, but yeah, I mean, welcome to the T. Higgins experience.
Well, of course I'm playing I'm playing John this week, and I have T Higgins, so I should have let you guys know that was going to be the
It's
issue.
my fault. I made the T Higgins thing happen.
It's only because I'm playing you. If I wasn't playing you, T Higgins would be fine for 25 points this week.
Isn't Dallas's run defense good? They allow the 13th most points, so kind of middle of the pack. Then plus, yeah, I agree with Pete's reactions. Like we don't really know this year.
Mike Zimmer, DC. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? Mike Zimmer has stopped the run and not stopped the run at both times. So
Dan Quinn no longer there, so different defense this year for sure. I would say they're mediocre at best. Ayuk or Deontay, I really feel like
yes, mediocre best.
Well, I just really feel like the Ayuk situation is going to be one of the toughest calls, and I think Ayuk and C-Mac are going to be really tough calls. I really like. I think Deontay's fine, and like I'm still in on Deontay by all means. But I feel like week one could be really disappointing for Deontay Johnson. On the road, Saints. I don't know. I think Deontay's fine if you need to play him, but it's just tough. Yeah, I mean, Ayuk might be limited. We just really don't know. The 49ers putting us in a really tough spot here in week one. I think it really depends on how you personally feel about it. Do you feel like, Ayuk's going to be limited, see less snaps, not be 100% ready because he missed the whole offseason? Are the Niners not going to give him as many looks for all those reasons? Or are they just going to get him involved right away? I mean, it's like, and then once again, he's facing the Jets secondary. So, I'm usually of the belief that I just draft my early round guys because you drafted them for like. There's so many times we look at a matchup and we're like, DK Metcalf's going up against Pat Surtain. I'm worried about it. And then DK Metcalf scores a touchdown in the first quarter because he's still DK Metcalf. Plus, like I would imagine Sauce is going to be on Debo and or Kittle at times in this game.
I don't know if the Jets travel.
Yeah,
but I mean, Michael Carter is going to be on probably on Kittle in the nickel, depending on the alignment.
Yeah, he's a good,
I don't know.
good player too.
Yeah, I think this might be a chess match where Shanahan's trying to move guys around. Maybe Salah's moving guys around. They're trying to create mismatches all over the place. I do not like offense in this game. I think this is like a 17-20 game. And maybe somebody has a good fantasy day, but I think this is like big. This is going to be big boy football.
Yeah, this is a tough matchup to evaluate. Chat, are you guys starting Brandon Ayuk? Yes or no? Better upside to have in the bench, Zavis or Shakir? I think Shakir. I like Zavis. Like these are really like almost similar profile type players. But one has T. Higgins and Jamar Chase in front of him, who can still play in the slot, and right now is a wide receiver 3 on that team. And we've seen, Tyler Boyd have fantasy relevancy when Higgins and Chase were there. Maybe not the highest ceiling, but still relevant. Then Shakir at the same time could be like the wide receiver 1 on that team, or it could be not involved at all. So I feel like upside actually still lies with Shakir because he's next to Coleman and Curtis Samuel coming off of turf toe. So, and I guess Kincaid, Cooks, those guys are going to get tons of receptions too. But then you kind of got to ask yourself, do you like the Bengals or the Bills offense more? I think there's an argument for either guy. Neighbors for Deontay and PPR. I probably just still start Malik Neighbors. It's still full PPR. The target should be there. Viking secondary, very
Not
nice
good.
Not good. Very nice to opposing wide receivers fantasy wise last year. I have talked about not liking Neighbors at his ADP in most drafts this year. I'm still very worried about the quarterback play there, but yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of matchups this year where you say I still drafted Neighbors for a reason, and I still think it's okay to start Neighbors here. I offered Waddle for Scary Terry. Do I accept? I'd rather have. I got offered. Yeah, I'd rather have Waddle, and I'm in on Terry, but I'd still rather have Waddle. Start Burrow, even if Chase doesn't play. Have Richardson. No, I just throw Richardson out there. Go for the upside, man.
Yeah,
Great matchup at home. Just yeah. I mean, we're not out on Burrow, but
if you drafted Anthony Richardson, you got to ride the Anthony Richardson experience until it all blows up in your face.
Yeah, you're on the train.
I'm on that train. I'm on the train, guys, in one of my leagues. So we're going to ride. I've been down on him all season. We're going to ride that train.
I'm at least my favorite team is my Superflex team with Anthony Richardson and Jaden Daniels. I'm on the full volatile quarterback train.
I like that. I do like that. I think my favorite team is the auction team because I hopefully beat J-Dubs this week. That's the only thing I care about with Saquon, Ed Brees, and Josh Allen. Go team!
That team is I think going to be really good. Actually, the team I'm most worried about out of all of my teams this year is my auction league team. I just don't know.
Bijan, baby. Pour that Bijan Dijon. Go. Let it go. Let him ride.
I know. I could have kept Saquon too, but it was like it was a fair amount of money.
It was expensive.
Like 48, I think, which honestly probably would have been fine, but always hunting for value in that situation. Was thinking about Geno over Burrow. I mean, I just start Burrow in this situation. Geno might be sneaky though. Pat's D is good though. I mean, they're fine. That's like plus, like, I mean, it's a different coaching staff this year. At the end of the day. But they were not bad last year. You're not wrong about that. But they also just traded away 2 of their starting linebackers in this offseason. So we got to kind of come out and see what we're going to get here. Find out. Start the Saints or Tampa Bay. I go with the Saints. Yeah. You still have better offensive firepower on Washington, and you have a much weaker secondary with Tampa Bay compared to the Saints.
And Kalijah Cansey just got ruled out against Washington, so that's like the middle of the Tampa Bay run defense. And Cliff Kingsbury will run the football. That could be an issue. So absolutely, Saints, Panthers did bad. And if you get cooked by the Panthers week 1, you got cooked by the Panthers week 1. It happens.
Yeah. That's a game where I don't expect a ton of points. I could see that Saints, I could see like a 17-14 game, like just 17-10. Like, but who knows? Maybe we get surprised. Got offered Amon-Ra and Rice for Brees and Diggs. Running backs are Brees, A-Chain, and Monty. Wide receivers are Puka, DK, and Diggs. That is tough because that's a Amon-Ra is, I think, still equivalent to Brees in a sense. And I'd rather have Rice than Diggs. I don't know if I give up Brees, though. I just don't know if I do. You still have good enough wide receivers. And this just really takes a smack to your running back room. Although I think you could survive with A-Chain and Monty if you have a good enough running back on the bench. But that's a tough one. It's a 3 wide receiver format. So actually I would consider it just because it's the 3 wide receiver format. Because then you're going to roll with Amon-Ra, Rice, Puka, and Flex DK and still have A-Chain and Monty. It really comes down to how much do you like Montgomery this year, because I really like him as like an RB2, but losing Brees is a big loss, but Amon-Ra I think is fair value there. Really, like the only guys I put up there fair value for Brees are like AJ Brown, Amon-Ra, Bijan, and anyone drafted before. So I consider this for sure if you feel good about it.
I'm just a little scared, right? Like Achane as
Yeah,
your RB1 is a little scary. That's a
it
little
is.
scary.
Definitely would depend on what running backs are on the bench here. Hawks or Saints, I like both. You could flip a coin. I think I still lean the Saints, but I like both. Had the Hawks defense, but dropped him for the Falcons. I also really like the Falcons this week. I don't know, man. Justin Fields might light it up.
I'm worried about that Steelers defense.
I am too. I think that I don't like the Steelers defense in fantasy at all this week.
But no, I'm saying like their Steelers defense could be the best defense of football this week. They could that unit is really good. I think that's the best unit in that game, which is not a good matchup. And the Falcons, we have to see the Falcons do something. It's the Falcons. It's Kirk Cousins. I can't believe in anything until I see it.
Yeah, it's interesting. The Steelers 19th against wide receivers and tight ends last year. So because I think of them as just a poor secondary. I don't disagree that the front seven's really good, but the secondary pretty kind to opponents last year. And then I don't have where they rank against running backs in front of me, or maybe I do. Yeah. They weren't good against running backs either. 22nd. So bottom 10. So they don't really scare me. And I think the Falcons defense looks pretty good on paper right now. And I mean, I think the thing is here, you're playing Fields or Russell Wilson. I actually like them, call me crazy, more when they were playing Russell Wilson this week. I think Fields still has that rushing upside.
Is he officially starting? Do we have
there's more reports indicating that he's more than likely starting tonight.
It could be like, I feel like they're just trying to like sneaky snake, like, oh, Russell Wilson might play, and Fields is getting the entire game plan. So what if they flip on us? What if it's like, oh, Fields is going to start, Russell Wilson rolls out the tunnel like the Undertaker?
Dude, I would not put it past them. Or just both of them play, why not?
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Why not? Let's run them both out there.
18 PPR Superflex, Bijan, Nico, DJ Moore. Wide receivers on the bench are Terry, Shakir. Would you change my starting wide receivers? I'm using Pickens. Tight end is Laporta. Nico, DJ Moore. And then Bijan's just kind of listed here. So your bench wide receivers are McLaurin, Shakir. Also using George Pickens. Sorry, the way you listed this is just slightly confusing.
It's a little confusing. We got it though. We figured it out.
No, I wouldn't change your starters. You could put Terry in over Pickens, but they're kind of both in weird situations here in week 1. I'm okay with starting Terry over Pickens though, for sure. But that'd be the only change I think I see here. Kind of depends. You got Jaden Daniels first start on the road against the Bucks. Pretty awful secondary there. Or do you like Pickens with Fields, or like we just talked about, maybe Russell Wilson on the road against the Falcons? I feel like Terry might have a safer floor, Pickens more upside. Do I trade Scary Terry for Waddle even if I have Daniels? Yeah, I mean, redraft, the stack doesn't matter. It's not a bad thing. It can certainly be very beneficial. But really, the only format where a stack is like super impactful is best ball. Maybe dynasty long term if you hit on the right 2 guys or 3 guys. Like Jalen Hurts, AJ Brown is probably going to be impactful for the next few years, right? Amon-Ra, Goff, maybe. Sports Spotlight. Have a great night as well. Good luck to you. Doug, I got no neck crack in me. My neck is bothering me.
I can get maybe one.
I haven't got anything. Go balance. Start Burrow, T-Law, Daniels. I think I don't want to overthink it. I think I just go Burrow. You know?
I think we need a banner. We need a banner. Week 1, play it safe. Like, this is the week to play it safe, guys. You have big names. Don't try and abuse the matchups. Like, possibly this guy, maybe that. Just, like, ride with the guys that you know are good football players. And if you lose week 1, it's not a disaster. It gives you priority in the waiver wire. You can go get those guys, figure things out. Because you're going to feel terrible if you sit a guy who's like a guy trying to be cute and lose. You're not going to feel bad if Jamar Chase has a really bad week tomorrow, and you didn't play, I don't know, Ladma, you didn't play whoever in place of him. You're going to feel bad if you sit Jamar Chase and he has a touchdown and 80 yards.
Yeah. Plus, why do you have Burrow, T-Law, and Daniels?
I mean, I like this team. I like this team. It's aggressive. Super flex, maybe. Maybe it's super flex.
Well, I don't know. I mean, Burrow always is kind of hurt. Daniels already putting in that category. So T-Law was hurt a lot.
No, we're all in on Daniels, I thought. Come on.
We are.
John, you're a Washington fan. Commanders winning 9 games, making the playoffs. I heard that.
They might, bro. But yeah, I think I just start Burrow here. This is a tough one. You have 3 quarter. This is another reason why I just like punch my mic. But commonly, I just draft 1 quarterback, pick someone up on the bye week, is because I don't want to go like back and forth between 2 or 3 quarterbacks and like different matchups, and it can be really frustrating.
Counter, if you drafted Jordan Love, you really wish you would have drafted a backup to support him right now. Like if you went Jordan Love and Tua, you're feeling okay right now.
Sure. Yeah, apparently we're just gonna
have Josh Allen, so I'm not gonna worry. I got Josh Allen.
We're gonna have like a week 1 quarterback go down. I swear Aaron Rodgers has a voodoo doll in Jordan Love.
Good. I'm glad. Aaron Rodgers might be my best friend. Maybe Aaron Rodgers come over. We can be best friends. We'll hug it out. Maybe we'll do an ayahuasca trip on stream together. It'll be great views. We'll talk about how Jordan Love sucks and we hate the Packers. We'll put on the Vikings helmet with him. It'll work. The JETS Jets, baby.
I mean, he might go to the Vikings next if that happens.
Next year, yes, right. Next year, Sam Darnold, JJ's got to come back from that knee. Sam Darnold flames out. We draft Travis Hunter, somebody stupid. And we got Aaron Rodgers next year. He's going to do what Brett Favre couldn't. Win the Super Bowl.
I would not put it past him to finish his career with
just
the
get
Vikings.
Just get one over on Favre and the Packers. Yeah. I like it. Comes full circle.
All right, Nick, AJ, pick one at flex. We got Chuba, Gabe Davis, Eckler, and Pollard. I probably I don't really want to start Gabe Davis week 1. I just don't. I don't. So I want to look at volume here. So it's probably Chuba, but I still like Pollard. We've already seen the coaches say like this is a 50-50 split. I think Pollard, really with Pollard, Chuba, and even Eckler, you're just hoping that someone stumbles into the end zone and gets you a floor for the week. So I don't love the matchup, but I'd probably just stick with Chuba. I think if you wanted to go with another guy, it's Pollard, but it's tough. Need a second backup quarterback for Kyler Murray for the season. Would you pick up Geno, Baker, or Watson? I'd pick up Baker, but if you like Geno, that's fine with me too.
Do not pick up Deshaun Watson under any circumstances. This channel will stop. We'll divorce you if you pick up Deshaun Watson. Anybody, pick up Bryce Young, pick up Sam Darnold before Deshaun Watson. Okay, yeah. But yes, Geno, Baker, moneymaker, Geno. But I think Kyler's going to be a dog for us this year. I think he's going to be healthy. 7 teams, he's going to cook for us.
Agree. But Baker's on my list for the week. I think have a big week 1, and especially with Jordan Love going
in that
down.
Spot.
Yeah, that's my guy.
Baker's in the spot. We're doubting the Buccaneers. That's Baker's spot. That's his money zone. Doubt Baker. He's MVP level quarterback.
He might be. That's my guy. Okay, this was a question from before. So, yeah, like I said, McLaurin, if you want to go with him over Pickens, is fine. What do y'all think, Browns defense or Cincy? I still go Cincy, but I do think the Browns are fine. But yeah, I'm going to bet against the Patriots offense as opposed to Prescott, Lamb, Ferguson, Cooks, Dowdle, Zeke. I mean, this is still a better offense no matter how you feel about it. Hands down. Than this was the highest scoring offense in the league last year. They just have dusty, crusty Zeke and no more Pollard. 12-team PPR. We got Dak, Jaden Daniels, JJ, MH, DK, Deontay, Jameson, Walker, Stevenson, B-Rob, Chuba, Mason, Freiermuth, Schultz. Ratings, move. Team looks pretty good for a 12-teamer. Kind of punted tight end, but that's okay. I still like those two names there. Good quarterback room. Wide receivers are good. I like this running back. I mean, I'll give this team a solid 8. He's going to start Dak. You have the upside hanging around with Jaden Daniels, then JJ, Marvin Harrison, flex DK. If you're in a double flex, you have Deontay Johnson or Jameson Williams, and you just start Walker and Stevenson. Good running backs on the bench there. Freiermuth and Schultz, 2 of those late round guys if you punted the position that I like. So, yeah, solid. I don't think you need to make any moves. So I drop Polk for Uzavis. Yeah, I mean, or you can just, I don't know. I was gonna say you could just wait.
It's a 1-week play, right?
For the most part. I mean, I still like Uzavis long term. I think the way things are looking, but I mean, here's the problem. What if Polk comes out and is the main target and gets 12 targets, has 8 catches and a touchdown? I mean, I don't know if that's going to happen, but I think at the end of the day, I would still bet on the Bengals offense over the Patriots offense here. So I probably do it. Pickens or Dell? I'm going to go Tank Dell easy here. Secret says Pickens. Texans have too many weapons, but for me, this is a good thing for Tank Dell. There's no defensive pressure on Tank Dell whatsoever. The upside is all there, so I go Dell.
Yeah, he just got to catch 2 balls. Catches 2 balls for 75 yards and a down. Major week flex. Easy week.
Yeah, I mean, who's going to cover Dell when you have Diggs out there? And
you got guys like me out there playing. Yeah. For Nico.
I mean, it's like
this is a secondary that they didn't upgrade at all.
Yeah. You can say whatever you want about Diggs, but he's top 10 wide receiver in fantasy last year. And you still got Nico out there. You got Schultz. I mean, how do you just can't line up against this offense? So have Anthony Richardson as my
you can if you're good. But...
Well, I guess that's true. I have Anthony Richardson as my quarterback in 1 QB league. Should I trade Tua for B-Tom? Depends on how bad you really need a wide receiver. But I kind of like having Tua behind Richardson. I think that's a really good quarterback room. So, I mean, in 1 quarterback leagues, I'm typically going for more depth at the skill position spot. So, I think you can. But I also like your quarterback room as is. Full PPR need 2. We got McLaurin, Deontay, or Ridley. I'll go with McLaurin and Deontay for a floor. McLaurin and Ridley if you want more upside. Caleb Williams for Jonathan Brooks. This is really dependent on the team and how bad you need running back depth, and if you lose Caleb, what does your team look like at quarterback? And just I don't know. This is a weird trade because Brooks isn't going to be back till the second half of the season. So I don't know. It's a weird trade, Doug. Full PPR, start Connor, Mostert, or Deontay Johnson and flex. And out of those two running backs, who would you start? I would start Mostert, and I would flex Deontay Johnson in full PPR. Connor's fine, but I really like Mostert this week. If you don't like Deontay going up against the Saints on the road, I think you could start Connor and Mostert. Ray Gamer, what's going on? Always good to have you. Rice and Lamar did amazing for me so far. I'm interested to see how Kincaid does tomorrow and rest of players. Yeah, I mean, the thing about these first two games is you either like had a lot of points scored on your fantasy team or a lot of points scored against you. So I think most of us are feeling pretty good because we had a lot of stud guys put up big fantasy performances. Full PPR with Ayuk being limited. Should I start Kirk? I really like Kirk this week, so if you want to start him over Ayuk, you definitely can. Ray Gamer ended up playing Rice over Ayuk, and I'm playing Waddle too. Very nice. Try to tell you guys, don't leave your drafts without a Kansas City Chiefs wide receiver. Start Pollard or Chase Brown since both are in a split. Floor is with Tony Pollard, the upsides with Chase Brown. So I'd probably play a little bit safer and go Tony Pollard. Baker or Dak? I'm still going Dak here. Still going with the QB3 in fantasy last year. I like Baker a lot this week, but I'm still going Dak. Like Pete said, just keep it simple week one. Don't overthink it. Go Dak. If Higgins plays, do I play Higgins or Dell? I think I still go Dell. And I'll go Burrow over Stafford. But I do really like... I'll say the floor is with Burrow. The upside's with Stafford. This Rams-Lions matchup I have like circled. And I just... If you want to go Stafford, I'm okay with it. But I think I go Dell with the Higgins situation being... I don't even know what we want to call it. An annoyance. Do you guys do roster reviews? Yes. Throw your roster in here. No problem at all, you boy. Is this a different team, but Goff over Dak? Now, once again, like if you I would probably go Goff over Dak. But once again, I just feel really good about that Lions-Rams matchup. I think that now that we have the Thursday and Friday night game out of the way, I think that this could be the best game we see for the rest of the week. Rate my team. We got A-Rich, Jacobs, Stevenson, Dobbins, Ford, Javonte, Brown, Devontae Adams, Chase, Jalen Reed, Kyle Pitts, Hawkinson, and I benched Reed. Don't worry, plenty of people did, and you have some very good wide receivers here. So, I mean, this team's a solid 8 once again. But this is a good team. You know, running backs aren't bad. I mean, if I drafted this team this year, I would have been really happy. I mean, you're going to start A-Rich, Jacobs, Stevenson. Could put Ford in over Stevenson or even Javonte at points. I mean, like, you're fine at running back, but then Brown, Adams, Chase. I'm assuming it's a single flex if you bench Jalen Reed. And then you're starting Kyle Pitts, but you got Hawk down the road. It's a good team. We got you, Chase. No worries. I'm a bit worried about CMC with his Achilles and calf injury, and he's playing through that. Worried about him. Someone in my league sent me a trade. Me getting Bijan and them getting CMC at some point. Is it just a straight up C-Mac Bijan trade? Because I think if you can add something on top of it and you're worried about the situation, then you can do that trade. One part of the trade, but one more from each of us will be involved. 2 other good running backs. Yeah, I mean, you still got to get something on top. I mean, you're still the #1 overall player drafted in fantasy this year. So, but it just depends on how you feel about the situation. I'm not panicked on Christian McCaffrey yet. We'll see if I get there. Falcons or Hawks? I think you could flip a coin, Dom. I like both a lot this week. I'm gravitating towards the Falcons. I have since the week has gone on. I regretted not putting them on the must-start list. I kind of mentioned that matchup, and I moved on from it. But I really do like that matchup. But I think the Hawks are going to be really solid. I'll say Hawks for floor, Falcons for more upside. Vic, what's going on? Thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Mike Williams or B. Tom if Chase is limited? I'm going to go Brian Thomas Jr. here. We don't even know what Mike Williams is going to be in this offense. They're on the road. They're playing the Niners. Maybe it happens, but I feel like that matchup between the Dolphins and the Jaguars is just going to be a better matchup for fantasy, for points scored. I go Brian Thomas Jr. here. Chat, who would you guys start? B. Tom or Mike Williams? Got B. Tom against the Dolphins on the road. Mike Williams against the Niners, also on the road. Thanks again for the super chat. Kyler or Goff? I really like Goff this week. Really, really, really like Goff, but I'm still starting Kyler Murray. Yeah. Too much upside.
Too much upside. But great game. Great Sunday night. Oh, man. That is fantasy heaven.
I'll say this much, too. You can expect, Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery to get plenty of touches in this game and plenty of touches within the 20-yard line. Kyler could run in 2 touchdowns from the 20-yard. You know what I mean? It's the upside still with Kyler Murray easily.
It's crazy. I have Montgomery, Puka, and Amon-Ra going Sunday night in one league, in my home league against my mother. So Sunday night's gonna be fun.
Yeah. And it's just I think Goff is gonna have a really solid night. Really like Stafford. I love that matchup overall. But I expect the Bills to put up a lot of points here, and the Cardinals are going to push back. So that's just a matchup that I think is going to be very good for fantasy. But they're both going to be good for fantasy. So good to see you, Ghost Hunter. What's up? Burrow or Kirk Cousins? Man, we're getting so many Burrow questions tonight. If he has a bad week, everyone's going to hate us.
Just roll with Burrow, guys. Come on. He's fine. He's good. He'll find a way to get in the end zone. Joe Burrow. It's Joe Cool. Come on.
Yeah. I think I still go Burrow. I do like Cousins. I think his projections are kind of unfair. Some sites have him projected 15 points. Cousins was averaging 21 points last year. Different offense. Justin Jefferson, all that stuff. But I still think Cousins is going to have a really solid day. So if you're worried about it, I think you could go Cousins. I don't know if the upside is that much higher for Burrow this week with Higgins and or Chase not playing, but I still think, you roll with Joe Burrow here. All right. What we got here, Shy Guy? Half PPR and 2 flex spots. Lamar, Saquon, you're probably feeling pretty good right now. James Cook, Kincaid, Wilson, Rice, Ridley, Palmer, benches Coleman, B. Tom, Rome, Polk, and Brooks is on IR. This is certainly not a bad team, especially for a half PPR league. But it comes down to an 8 for me because your running back depth is really lacking. And in half PPR, that's really important. I think some of these players, even though it's a double flex league, but some guys like Rome and I think Rome's, I don't know. You got 4 rookie wide receivers on the bench. I feel like at least one of those guys, if not 2 guys, should be running backs and half PPR. But the starting lineup is still very nice. Lamar, Saquon, Cook, Kincaid, Garrett Wilson, Rice, Ridley, Palmer. I mean, even over like Ridley and Palmer, you could have even drafted running backs over those guys. I still think it's a solid team. You probably have a nice lead for the week with Rice, Saquon, and Lamar.
Man, I'm feeling really good. Yeah, I'm feeling great.
Yeah.
Going tomorrow.
I dropped Gibbs for Kyler. What? What league is this, Doug?
Oh, please stop. Please tell me you didn't do this. Like, Doug, you're trolling, right? You didn't drop Jameer Gibbs for Kyler Murray.
But what type of league are you in that Kyler's even available?
It's a 4-team, 1 quarterback, no flex league.
Yeah, we need more insight here.
Please.
I drafted Love, but benched him for Baker. Let's go.
Baker, yeah.
That's our boy.
Yeah, go.
Yeah.
Go.
I mean, Baker or Jordan Love still was fine this week, especially in 6-point passing touchdown leagues. But let's go. Let's go, Baker. Finally, someone likes Baker. Browns, Jets, or the Hawks. I like the Hawks the best out of these three. I go Hawks, Browns, Jets. If you own the Jets, you can hold on to them. Shy Guy, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Still a very good team. Like I said, I just prefer additional running back depth and half PPR. Like, it's more than okay to flex running backs over wide receivers and have PPR. But still a solid team. And that most of that core roster is super, super good. Youngway Koo or the best man. So a lot of times when you have some of these top tier kickers, you want to look at them being in position actually on teams that score less points. Call me crazy, but teams that don't finish drives and get into the red zone, that is good for a kicker. I think both of these offenses
but not terrible offenses. You want to move the ball some.
Sometimes really bad offenses though do have really strong kickers in fantasy because they never finish any drives, But I think I go with Tyler Bass because I think there's going to be more growing pains for the Bills this year than the Falcons. Is that crazy to say? I don't know. I think both these guys will be solid though. Do you have a preference, Pete?
No, I mean I like them, but I just always instinctively say Bass ass, but it's because it rhymes. And Koo is the man, but we don't get points for onside kicks over here.
Yeah,
which is where Koo's specialty lies.
Yeah.
Somehow I am the kicker. They neither made my list this week, so.
Mostert or McConkey, one of my flex and full PPR. I like Mostert. I still like Mostert.
We just don't with Lad. We gotta chill on the Chargers and Lad.
Yeah, some people are like week 1, like the Chargers, Justin Herbert, he's gonna be MVP caliber, like Jim Harbaugh, it's a new regime. I just want to see it first.
His foot is hurt. They'll play good defensive ball. I like Gus Edwards and J.K. Dobbins this week. That's about it.
Yeah, I still like Gus Bus a lot.
Yeah,
I'm starting to regret not drafting as much J.K. Dobbins because I do think he's going to be like, I mean, Vegas really likes J.K. Dobbins this week. But yeah, with the Chargers, like I'm not out on them, but like you drafted Ladd, Palmer so late. You shouldn't have to start Herbert this week outside of Superflex double quarterback leagues. Like, I just want to see it here in week 1 and see what this offense kind of looks like before we make any huge decisions. Standard need one flex.
On point, drop a question.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I was going to drop a question. Pertinent. J.K. Dobbins, Chase Brown. There's been a... Yeah.
I'll still go, like, have to start one this week.
Yeah, start one this week.
Oh.
Yeah, this is a money question. I know. This is a money question.
Chat, let us know Chase Brown or J.K. Dobbins this week. I'm just interested.
50-50.
That's a tough one.
I'm torn. That's what I have. I have that in the situation this week.
I think I say stick with your gut. Go Chase Brown. I think that's where you're.
That's what I'd say.
Yeah.
That's where my heart at right now. I love J.K. Dobbins for the season, but I think Chase Brown this week might have the week. He'll just catch a billion passes.
Yeah. Standard need one flex, McLaurin, Pickens, B-Rob. I mean, in a standard scoring, I think you can just roll with B-Rob here, but I'm okay with McLaurin there too. Going with the touchdown upside. How do you guys feel about Jones and Monty this year? Jones is still going to have, as long as Jones is healthy, he's going to have his moments. I think he's going to be a good week 1 start against the Giants. I really like him this week, actually. Monty, I still think is going to get plenty. Like, I feel the same way about Monty as I do about Raheem Mostert. Like, these guys are still going to get plenty of touches, and their offenses scored way too many times last year to just be completely exiled, even if they have guys like A-Chain and Gibbs there. But yeah, I still like both these. I still like Monty. Jones, I think will be fine. Ray Gamer's team: Jackson, Waddle, Rice, C-Mac, Kyron, Kincaid, Gibbs, and the flex. Wow. Aubrey, Cowboys defense, Ayuk, Goff, Ford, Dowdle, Palmer, Keon Coleman, Njoku, Chubb. This team is loaded. How does this team even happen? I mean, the starting lineup alone makes this team a 9. Full PPR, should I start Cook, Terry, or DJ? I take Terry out here and I go with DJ Moore or Cook. Really like Cook this week. I think he is going to have a dominant performance against Cardinals, but I'll go DJ Moore. I mean, some people don't like DJ Moore this week because you got Snead on him, but I think full PPR, I go DJ Moore. All right, so Chad agrees. They like Chase Brown. Nice.
I like that. Chat lives dangerous like me. I like it.
Aaron Jones or Sutton for half PPR. At half PPR, I'm going to go Aaron Jones against the Giants. I feel okay with that. Should I start Gus Edwards or Rashid Shaheed in the flex? I go with the safer play here. I go Gus Bus. Yeah. Shaheed's fine, but I go Gus Bus. Should I play Ayuk or go with Chuba? I'll go with Ayuk still.
Yeah, there's too much of a tier difference here.
Yeah, I think Chuba's okay, but I go with Ayuk. Just roll Ayuk out there. All right, ladies and gentlemen. I planned on streaming longer tonight, but I've had a massive headache all night long. It's not getting any better. So we're going to call it a little early tonight, but that'll at least allow me to rest up and be ready to go in the morning. And I will be doing a longer stream tomorrow morning. And I think Pete's going to hop on at some point as well. So we'll be here to get those last second week 1 questions in and probably have more of an update on some of these situations, like in the injury stuff, Bengals, maybe the Niners. We'll figure it out. So don't worry. And if you guys need anything, drop a comment. We will get back to every comment on any of the videos before Sunday kicks off tomorrow. And you might have your question answered in one of the videos. Go check out the start sits for sure. Have a good night, Mr. Sarcastic. Appreciate it. Thank you, Ray Gamer. I'll be fine. Coleman or Aaron Jones? I'll go Aaron Jones. Hit the like, you know. Yeah, gotta go with the Viking. Running out of creative things to say to get y'all to hit the like. Just make it up yourself. Appreciate that.
I had a good one. Hit the like button so the fantasy gods bless you for week 1, or make your own luck. Whatever, man.
That's good.
Reese, hit the like button.
Hit the dang like. Ford, Stevenson, Javonte. I go Jerome Ford this week. All right, guys. We'll be back in the morning. Everything you need for week 1 is on the channel. Check out the videos. Good luck if we don't talk to you guys tomorrow, but we will be on in the morning to help you guys out as well. So with that, I'll say thank you guys so much for watching and or listening. And remember, yes, odd ear on the catch. And peace.